A lot of inventors, when they look at the utility patent, they're a little intimidated by the price tag. And so for them, there's something called a provisional patent. Now, a provisional patent is basically not a patent in that it doesn't give you any enforceable rights other than to claim later on its filing date as your priority date. What it does do, though, is it gets you patent pending for, at least if you go through our law firm, $3,000 to $5,000. The patent pending status will last for a year, and during that year you can tweak your invention, try to find investors, do a little R&D, try to sell your invention outright, do a little market testing, see if it's going to be popular, get a prototype made. Basically spend that year trying to figure out if it's worth spending more money, because by the end of the year your provisional patent will expire. Before that year ends, you have to turn the provisional into a utility patent application to preserve your filing date. Now, a lot of inventors will say, well, can't I just tack provisional after provisional and become patent pending for 30 years? Well, not really, because once you turn a provisional into a utility patent application, the utility patent can only reach back and grab the date of a provisional that was filed within a year. So let's say you filed 10 years of provisionals, and during that time somebody else comes up with the same invention, files for a utility patent, you can lose the race to the patent office, and that's a race you don't want to lose, particularly because the Patent Reform Act is supposed to change us from a first to invent to a first to file jurisdiction. So if you're going to do a provisional, my advice is make sure that during that year you come up with enough R&D, enough invention tweaking, enough searching for investors, so that by the end of that year you've made the decision whether or not to turn that provisional into a utility. Now, what is the end of the year? If you're going to have us do a provisional and then ask us to do a utility, we really like at least a month and a half to work on your utility to make sure it's a quality utility. We have turned provisionals around in as little as 24 hours, but quite frankly, you're not going to get as good work as if you give us a couple of weeks at the very least to work on the utility patent. Ty West is located on about 5 acres of beachfront land. We've kept a lot of it free and clear. You can see right here, this is a nice area to relax, walk around, look at the flowers, things like that. We've tried to situate the bungalows such that each has an ocean view, and indeed each bungalow does have an ocean view, but to try to keep them kind of separate and private and away from the general grounds so that you feel like you have a little bit of your own space there. We've also divided up each of the bungalows such that it has its own planting, and basically plants make up your shield from your neighbors.